again, as I've been studying ever since the last time I was up here, or the last time the last person spoke. Uh, and so I got to give my Thanksgiving spill. First of all, so did everybody have a good Thanksgiving? Is it over? It's never over. It's never over. Thanksgiving should be every day. Not that you have to go out and buy a turkey and all that kind of stuff, but what are you thankful for? Right? I'm still thanking, so I lost a lot of Thanksgiving because I kept thanking and thanking and thanking. Right? I started with my mom and my dad and my brother who've passed, so it's like this was a kind of a hard time, because mom used to cook. We call them conkies, right? And so it's just something she cooks up, vegetables and stuff, and she would always have those for me, right? So I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to enjoy those things, right? Even though somebody else can make them, but in my head, they're not the same, right? But still, I'm thankful for the time I had with those people who were always around me, right? And so I got family that I'm thankful for, right? And then sometimes I gotta expand what I think is family. It works for me, right? So I have cousins, most of them live in Barbados, but they have kids. And those kids are what? They're my cousins. They're not any further than that. They're not fifth cousin. They're not sixth cousin. They're a cousin. So I'm thankful for those. My cousin used to braid my hair every night. And I would take it down the next day so I could have an afro. And she would do it every night for years and years, right? So I have to be thankful for those times, right? I'm thankful for my son. Right? He taught me some lessons I didn't want to learn, but, that's what kids do. But he has a brother. That's my son as well. Right? So I'm thankful for my son and all that whole family. So I extended my family. I don't call them stepsons. But my wife's sons, they're my sons. They're no different than if they were my blood, right? So I'm thankful for all of those relationships. And so those are things that you should be thankful for on Thanksgiving and really every day, right? Like if you ain't call somebody and say, I love you, it is the day to do that. Or sometime going forward, right? You got to make that commitment to be thankful. That's how you get other things coming in, because you're thankful for what little you have. And then once you're thankful for what little you have, then that will expand by natural law, which I'm going to get to probably in a bit. Got to be thankful for all those things, right? I can't call my mom and say, I love you. I want to. Right. We even saved a message for a while that she would pick up because she hated to leave a message or leave, the answer. And it got deleted. The company deleted it. So it's like, but those were days and those are things I have to be thankful for. Right. I could be on the opposite side and be mad at the company that deleted the video or be mad at the cancer she passed away from. They both did, or all of them did. But no, I'm thankful for the fun I had. My brother turned me on to Conversation with God, right? Have you ever heard of that series? If you haven't, you need to get one of those books, at least one of them. And I turned him on to Abraham. And so I had to be thankful for all those interactions, family-wise. I have a friend who I haven't seen in years that lives in Florida. Chris, and it's like, that's my brother, and nobody can tell me any different. So that's how you're going to start extending your family, so that at some point, everybody is your family, right? When I look at Penny, I can see my mother. I look at any older person. I call older as just a perspective. I have to see my mother. Otherwise, what else is there to, it's that same energy. Your friends, I see friends all the time. I only have friends and friends to be. That's it. Right? Even the ones that were negative or some people say would hurt you, those are friends that taught me lessons. Right? More than some of the other ones who we just love and hang out and play and do all that. And so I have to be thankful for those people. Somebody who said, okay, this time around, I'm going to be the villain and we're going to fight this time so that you can learn how to stand up for yourself. You have to be thankful for all those things, all these things happening to you. All of them. Because, again, as we're going to talk about natural law, you brought them to you. Right? We'll talk about that in a minute. So all these things you should be doing every day. Little bit. Right? You don't have to take 2 weeks off or 2 days off and cook and do all that. But at least 3 minutes, 1 minute. Can you do 1 minute? 1 minute every day. Be thankful. I read something that says, Spirit said, say thank you at least 10 times a day. And I was thinking, okay, I can say thank you. 1, thank you, 2. No, but it's thank you to somebody who's doing something. Or, you know how I do it? When I'm at work, there are people that come in. I'm on my computer and I'm working. And there are people that come in and grab the trash. Right? I say thank you. And then also, I used to have that job. Before I started my long term, I was there for 13 years at MCI. That was my first job. Right? So I got a certain feeling for that level of work. So I say thank you. So 10 times a day, find something to be thankful for. Even if it's your iPod. Right? Did you say thank you for it? Or do you just pop it in and be like, this is some good music, let me move forward? You didn't say thank you though. You should. That's what you can do for all little things. Don't have to be big things. Little things. And then Spirit says, oh, you're thankful for this. Then let's just replicate that. Because there's not a man up there saying yes to you and no to you and yes to you and maybe to you for the things you ask. There's just you offering this energy, and Spirit says, I'm going to match that. He doesn't say, don't think this is good for you. It just says, I'm going to match that. Right? And so be thankful for lots of things. I'm still thankful for, I do it in the shower. When I get done, I say thank you. It's a habit now for probably, I don't know, maybe a year maybe. It's habit now. When I get out, when I get done showering, I say thank you. That's one thing you can do. That's another thing you can, and it's all easy, and it just becomes second nature as you start doing these things, right? And then at some point, you're full. You'll be full. And so, okay, all right. So that's enough about the family. And then again, so is it family? Okay, you're a family. Everybody sitting here is my family. We have this relationship because we come here and we gather together. And we're creating something. May not be able to see it, but as we're sitting here thinking about the same thing, trying to gain some more knowledge, raise my consciousness, learn about Spirit, right? We're all growing, right? So we're a family. We're all, and that's how group prayers work. Because everybody gets together and says, okay, for the next 2 minutes, we're going to pray for all the people in the war zones. And then that goes out and does stuff, right? So, you can do this in your family. And so wherever you go is a family, right? At some point, if I leave here and I go to Peru, I'm going to have family over there. So wherever I go, I'm going to have family. And then, when a certain number of us do this, then I swear wars will be gone because that will be my family over there. Right? But we have to start right here. You got to start at home. For all these things, you got to start at home. Okay? All right, so I wanted to talk about a little bit about natural law, because we sing about it. You know, we always talk about it. You know, we heard Jesus did all kinds of natural things. And so I just want to talk a little bit about that. Last time we talked about energy and how everything is energy. Every possible thing you can think of or that you haven't thought of is some type of energy. We are energy. We just happen to coalesce, the vibration slowed down, and boom, became a human being. Versus if you have a higher vibration, then you are smoke or something lighter, right? So we're all our energy in some form or another. And then so the next one I wanted to talk about was divine oneness. The law of divine oneness. And I've been reading these books and they keep kicking me to one book to another book. I'm doing the law of one, and then I was doing the natural law, and then it kicked me over to this conversation with God. Really good information. You know, how one man can say, okay, I'm frustrated, you know, and here's my questions, and all of a sudden he gets information. Because he wants it, and information comes all the time. But they keep going back and forth between these books, and I imagine something will come out later. But divine oneness, the law of one is the same thing. Everything that we know is created by one thing. We're all created by one thing. Right? Yes, no, maybe. One substance, one energy. Not one man, but one thing. I call it a thing. We're all. And so even in the depths of the ocean, we can only go so far. Those things are also created by this energy. Right? We would agree, because we were saying everything is created by this energy. And if there are other things, other places, those are created by this one thing. Right? That's what we're all created. And so now, once we start believing that we are created all equal, and we all have this one basic energy in us, then we can communicate. On this basic level, I know what you know what I know what they know what I know. Everybody knows everything about everybody at this level. Because we said we're created by the same thing, right? And then after that, there's an outgrowth of humans or animals, right? Trees, planets. Because the one energy created everything, right? The planets, the stars, right? And we call that all that is. And so we need to understand, before we go talk about the law of attraction and the law of vibration, and we need to understand these as basic truths. I can't sometimes say that word, truth. Right? These are basic things we need to understand first. We're all connected. Something greater than us made us. Right? We don't understand all it is. I don't understand all it is. I've been studying now for 30 years or so. Right? I just see the outcome of what this thing can do, and how amazing it is. And at times I've had the feeling that I'm connected directly, or I remember I'm connected, and I know everything almost. I know I know what the tree's feeling. I'm connected. And we all can do that now. We all could always do that. But nobody told us that. So divine oneness, we all have to know that we're all connected. We don't think that, otherwise we wouldn't have wars, because you don't bomb your family. Or the fact that if I hit you, sooner or later, I'm going to get that hit back, whether it's from you or somebody else or some other thing that feels like that. Right? So once we start learning these basic truths, then things will change. Right? Right now we're fighting stuff from outside, not from inside. And so we put a Band-Aid over here in war, and then what happens? It shows up over here. We put a Band-Aid over here. Whereas if you start fixing what's inside, we fight with ourselves in the beginning. We're fighting with ourselves because right now we're thinking, I am human and we are also spirit. Most of us don't think that, so there's an internal struggle right away. And so war will happen until we start realizing that, okay, I am connected to all that stuff. And I feel their pain, right? We have to, this is the next step. We have to start learning these things. We are all connected. We're all connected, right? And so divine oneness. The other one that came up was the law of action, right? Everything has a, vibration. The law of vibration. That everything has a vibration. Every single thing has a vibration. I don't care what you can think of, right? The drum makes a vibration. The guitar makes a vibration, right? The tree has a vibration, right? You have a certain vibration that you give off when you say yes, when you say no, when you're at rest. Everything vibrates. Just some things vibrate slower than others. A rock vibrates slower, so it looks like it's not moving. Steam vibrates faster, so it looks like we cannot touch it. All different vibrations. So everything has a vibration. Even twins have a unique vibration, right? So on some level, you should be able to tell which is which. Where you might be able to look at them, and they may look alike. Everything has a unique vibration. So whatever you do almost is recorded or stored. Everybody has a unique connection to this conglomerate of energy that we all came out of, right? So everything has this vibration, and once this get into like the healthcare system, where we start talking about healing with vibration, then we will be like, oh, okay, that's what works, because everything has a vibration, and a vibration can equal out a vibration, right? And so that's how we will start curing certain illnesses, by hitting it with a sound, because it's like sound healing. So everything has a vibration. That's why when I'm doing healing, I have a scale of tuning forks. And then, so if you come to my table, then I can use this on you as one modality. And you can tell when I put that, I hit a certain tone, I can tell whether it's working or not, whether they have some like a physical, reaction, or I can tell. And so sound heals. And so everything has a vibration, right? Everything, there's nothing that doesn't have a vibration. So these are things that we need to understand first if we want to be, what I want to say healers, but a healer is just somebody that heals yourself. Like I'm up here doing this work for me, right? And then the byproduct of that is that you get to hear some of this information coming out. But I'm selfish. This is for me. And then I'm less selfish because this is for my kids. And then if this is for my kids, then this is for your kids. Right? But again, I'm selfish in that I know what I give out comes back. Right? And so in healing, it's like the placebo. Right? It's like we give somebody the medication and somebody a sugar cube. Right? And it's just, and they're just a different vibration, but in the middle of those is the person that says, this is what the doctor prescribes, so this will work. And this is something different, or it's that person in the middle that says, this will work for me. One person says, this will work for me, which is the medication. One person says, this will work for me, and this is the sugar. Or this is the natural healing oil or what. But each has a certain vibration. And then once that vibration interacts with yours, then healing occurs, right? On a vibrational level. Everything has a vibration. And you got to just break that down. That's a vibration. It may sound like a noise, but that's a vibration. Your ears hear it, it goes in, it works around your brain, and you're just like, oh, that's a noise. But that's a vibration. Brain, wonderful tool. Don't let it rule you. Let's see. And then the law of action, it will be the last one I'll do. The law of action says everything has an equal and opposite reaction. You've heard that before. Every single thing, what you do comes back to you. That's how you can break that down. And all these, when I start working with all these laws, they all almost sound the same. But that's probably from my perspective, thinking about this for so many years. Right? But so again, what you do comes back at you. So it is best that you do something that's positive. Because it comes back, it's natural law, there's no doubt about that at all. Right? So that's why you do good things. Not so that you can get stuff, but so that this is what you say you want comes back to you. Okay, so natural law. So that's all I'm going to talk about as far as natural law. What I want to do really quick is I have these cars that I've been having for, I don't know, how old am I, 20? Let's see. That I've been having, some of these cars are probably older than you guys. That's funny. They talk to me and it make me laugh. Okay, all right, so what I want to do is, I have many, many great teachers, right? And so sometimes they say things and it takes me years to digest it and stuff, right? And so I have all these little cards that could be a lecture in itself. I'm just going to read a couple of them. That's just a day in my life, right? So, and all this has to do with natural law because that's pretty much all I ever studied. This one says, comparison is my death trap, for it holds me in the place of negative attraction. Make sense? Because we all compare ourselves to something else and then say, I want to be better than that. Right? And so you are saying, okay, I'm not worthy as I am. Not that, progress isn't good or evolution doesn't happen. Right? But, and again, this is not for everybody. This is for just some people. Because they compare themselves to other people. And then when you're comparing yourself, you're holding yourself in a smaller, weaker, a lower place than you're projecting this person to be. And so by keep comparing yourself to this person, like I would never compare myself to Usain Bolt. Right? So, but it doesn't have to be that drastic. But compare yourself to somebody, oh, they can speak really well and I can't. Well, okay, that's a lesson. That's really not negative. It's a lesson. Oh, well, let me follow that person and see what they do because I want to be like them. Right? So I'm not saying comparison is bad, but you got to watch what you compare yourself to. Right? Because, again, it will hold you in a negative place at most times. For me, it doesn't because I'm saying, oh, Yogananda, Paramahansa Yogananda. Oh, I like what he says. I'm going to look that up and read about it. Right? So to me, to me, that's somewhat of a comparison. But understand what comparisons are. I thought I wrote that down. I don't even know how old that one is. But it makes sense to me. And then some of these, I just laugh because it's like, wow. And it's just like, I didn't write this. It just came through me. Someone who isn't convinced of something himself won't be convinced by you either. Right. Someone who isn't convinced of something themselves, we can't ever convince them. Right. Think about that for a little bit. Right. That sink in. And I know who this is from. And I used to study with Bhagwan a long time ago. What you are outwardly is not the question. And I mentioned this earlier. What is your inner hypnosis will decide your course of life. right? What you think about the most is your path. You are choosing what you keep thinking about over and over and over. The law of attraction. Things will happen, and that will guide your path, right? So, and your outer is just a manifestation of what's happening inside, right? But we always try to put the band-aid on the mirror and like, oh, let me fix all, but you got to start in here, and then everything fixes itself. Or you realize everything is already fixed. Because nothing is really wrong right now, right? Okay. Let's see. All right. When you feel that thing you call jealousy, that is never your inner being or your guys. Saying that you want this right now, but you are giving thought to the lack of it. So it's okay. So when people talk about jealousy or they feel jealous, what they're saying is, this is not your higher guides talking to you, but this is you saying that whatever you're thinking about right now, you're thinking about the lack of it, right? So if you're thinking about jealousy, you're thinking about the lack of jealousy or the lack of love, right? That was a little wordy. So most people give thought. So the law of attraction says whatever you give will come back to you. But most people, if they would just think 51% of the things they want, those things will come faster. 51%. But most people hate things so much, they're thinking about the lack of what they want more than they are thinking about the thing they want. And then they say, how come it isn't coming to me? Because you're not thinking about the thing, you're thinking about the lack of it. I'm jealous, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have a man, I don't have, and I'm jealous because somebody else has one. You're thinking about the lack of what you want versus what you want. Right? You should be thinking about, I want a man versus, how come she's got a man? Does that make sense? Okay. And so that's what that was talking about. Again, some of these, I sit and read over and over and over and over. And I've been having them for a while. All right. So, and this one, again, the law of attraction was paramount in all my research. And so this one says, negative emotion is offered to guide you away from that which is not of value to you. I think that sounds like Abraham. Negative emotion is offered to guide you away from that which is not of value to you. Right? So we negative emotion then isn't a bad thing. Right? It just guides you to, oh, I don't want that thing. Let me choose something different. Right? It's negative emotion is not a bad thing. It's just there to get you a perk to, oh, let me revisit this. Because you get to choose, It's almost like going to the cookie bar. And you got 10 different cookies. And you eat and you get to one that, number 8, it's not really good, right? You go to number 9 and 10, they're good. Who goes through the line again and chooses number 8? By a show of hands, who will choose number 8? Not one single person. But we do that with our thoughts over and over and over, every day, all day. Because something doesn't feel good. I don't know what it is, but let me go revisit it. And we do that all the time. And then we say, I don't know why things aren't working. Because we keep eating the distasteful cookie over and over and over and over. And it's not the cookie then, it's me. Right? I blame the cookie. That's the nasty cookie. Right? But it's just a cookie. But it's us. And then somebody will come along and, as life is, will hate number 1 and love number 8. Right? So some things, the negative emotion says this isn't for you, based on what you say you want. Right? And so, and again, everything is based on what you say you want. Right? What do you believe? And again, a belief is just something that you think over and over and over and over and over, that becomes a belief. That's all a belief is. So you can change your beliefs by the way you think. You just have to start thinking something different over and over and over and over and over. These beliefs aren't something set in stone, tossed off a mountain. These are it for life. No, they change. Christianity was, should I go there or should I not go there? Christianity was a cult in the beginning. You couldn't do that out in the open. You have your head chopped off. Look where it is now. Right? Everything will change. Everything changes. You know, so inject some spirituality into your religiousness. Right? That was the last thing I got. I injected some spirituality into my religiousness. Because the religion said, this is the way it is. This person experienced this. That's the way it is forever. And spirituality says, okay, that thing happened. You know, let's take a look inside and see what else will happen. And then I have a choice. Whereas the other one, you don't have a choice. You believe, you know. And I heard a teacher said, I need to shut up. I heard a teacher said, we have been, and this is why my search continues nonstop. Teacher said, we've been lied to for thousands and thousands of years. Thousands and thousands of years. So now I have to question everything. I had to question God. I had to question Jesus, you know, until I found myself, oh, I am in the midst of that energy already. Right? Question everything. Anything that I told you today, hopefully you remember some names, go out and look for it. Because then you have to make a decision. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. And then your life will go that way. Where you are not is because you said, I believe this. I believe this. I believe this. Here you are. Right? Everybody has to make that choice. And so I'm going to leave you with that as of right now. Any questions come up for anybody at the moment? What? All right. Yes. 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 Yes, Mama.
Your mother told me to ask you this. You said something about, wanting a man, and that you have to think of it positively. But the fact that you say, I don't, internally, when you say, I want a man, implies that you have a lack.
Correct, yes.
You're attracting that lack.
Yeah, yes.
So you're never going to have that man.
Correct. You are correct. Exactly.
Mama told me to tell you that.
Yes, and this is exactly what I'm saying. And she was a strict Methodist.
Your mama?
Person, yes. Absolutely the best. But when I came along with my out-of-the-box thinking, that's my son. He's still talking about God or something. So, But she accepted me, and so I kept going. But and that's correct. You're thinking about not having it more than you're thinking about having it. Mm-hmm. Right. And that was what that was about. You keep thinking, I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it. You keep giving energy to, I don't. And what you should be saying, okay, I want this. I want it to be this color. I can feel myself with it already. Oh, it's red. It's smooth. Oh, I can feel the wind blowing my hair if it's a car. Whatever it is, you have to feel it as if it already is there, happening already.
Right. That's exactly right.
Like, I can feel, and I did this before, before I'm where I am now. I took all the good parts of all the women I remembered, and I said, okay, this is what I want. Right? And then I was in all the middle of my research, so that's where I am right now. You're right. That's just the way it works. The more you give attention to something, the faster it comes. And the more emotion you put into it, it's there just like that. Or you can be at peace and you can say, I want something, and it will be there immediately. Even if it's physically, it will be there immediately. And because you haven't seen it before doesn't mean it can't happen. And I know people, physically know people who it's happened to, where they're like, I don't have this thing, I don't have this thing. And then you go and look and, oh, it is right there. But you have to have all these underlying foundations about oneness and love, and joyfulness. And you have to have all these things every day almost. So you got to think about these things. The day is 24 hours. Can you give 1 minute to talk about the things you want? And talk about the things you want in a positive way, right? Versus, and this is how I started out, or this is how most people think, and these are in seconds. I want a new red car, but I can't afford it. So in the first second, you says, I want something, and the next second, you negate it by saying, but I can't afford it. So the challenge is to see what you want in a positive way. Again, I can use a car because it's easy. I want a new red car. I can see the color. Again, I can feel the wind blowing to my face. That new car smell. You know what a new car smells like? How many miles is on it? You have to just be positive about that thing over and over and over and over until, I think if you could do it for 17 seconds, it exponentially expands. But we hardly can get to 17 seconds. Some people in 2 seconds, they're off the cliff already. Right? Yes.
So how it works for me, just to tie back to the beginning of you speaking about being thankful, is just doing things like thanking the universe for allowing opportunities to be presented to me today, for that perfect person to be put in my life, for opportunities to have that red sports car that you might want, or whatever it is, but thanking whoever it is for allowing you the opportunity to be exposed to whatever it is that you need to.
Right.
And that's a good 17
Right.
seconds.
Right.
It goes back to thanking
Right.
whoever and being thankful for things that you might not have.
Right. And the fact that just being thankful gets you in that vibration of you don't even have to ask. Does God not know what you want already? Or you're not saying it over and over and over and over? And if you're not getting it, it's because you're standing in the way, blocking what's supposed to come to you by just the way you're thinking. I can't have it. How come it's not here yet? Where is it? I asked for it last week. That's where we stand mostly. But if you're thankful, again, if you get in that easygoing space, things happen. Because what happens? You let go. And what does that say? Let go and let God. All that says is I let go of the worry about it. I let go of the coming of it. I give it. Because God, my angels, my guides already know what I want. Because we're tied together. Right? So being thankful just for like breathing. I know people who are not breathing anymore. Be thankful so that at every moment you can be thankful for every breath. So there are opportunities to be thankful. I think we just take stuff for granted. Like I'm 60 years old. And I have to thank my feet because I put them through a bunch of stuff for 60 years, running up and down stairs at the UT Auditorium, and you could get in and riding bicycles for 100 miles from here to Shiner. You know what I mean? I put this through a lot. So I have lots. That's why I'm still thankful. And I'll be thankful till next Thanksgiving because If I'm not, then, you know, I lost the trail. Okay? Is that good? All right. Thank you very much.